Warning, this podcast contains croissants. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Sleepy Hollow, Season 3, Episode 15 in Incommunicado. I'm your host, Dom. With me, the one, the only, Clio.
Hello, there were croissants, but a surprising lack of bear claws.
Mm-hmm. It's true. And also the one and only, Kim.
And I have a face today.
You have.
It's working.
Yay!
I can't believe
Skype isn't broken.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
So, what did you ladies think of this episode?
This was a super good episode.
Very good
A
episode.
Supergirl episode?
Super good.
Oh. Got it.
Nope.
No, I really like this episode too.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's brought by some bad news. I read just before we went live that ratings aren't doing too well on the show. And it's not set in stone, but it's not looking good for a renewal.
Yeah. I mean, the thing we have to hold on to is that there are 3 shittier shows on Fox right now.
That is...
So there are 3 other shitty shows that could, like, I'm not saying this show is not shitty, but there are 3 shitty shows that could be chopped.
There's 3 shows shittier than this.
Yeah.
We're saying that it's possible that the other shows will be chopped,
Yeah.
and they'll leave this one up for at least one more season so they can, maybe clear up some things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm wondering...
Like Orion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
like
never
random
going to get
angels
answered.
that fly out of the sky out of nowhere.
It's never gonna happen.
It's not. There's even if they had like an entire season to wrap it up, there would be no Orion. Ever.
Biggest plot hole ever.
I'm so disappointed. But we don't know how early they get information like this, because for all we know, they could have been told, "Hey, look, you might be canceled. So if you want to put a contingency plan to wrap your story up, start working on it now," kind of thing. So maybe we'll get a happy ending. I don't know. You can't really get happy endings in shows like this.
We may or may. I mean, it's.
Like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna resolve everything here and send Crane back to his time? Like, how do you resolve this?
No, Dom. Obviously, Abby and Crane are in love, so they have to be together.
Yeah.
Okay, so Abby goes back with him.
You know what? I would be totally fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I would be too. Like the same time. I mean, I'd really be okay either way. Either if he stays, or if she goes back.
But it's not like it was okay. We're so off topic, but it's not like it was time travel. He was there.
No, I know.
Yeah, so it's
He came back to life. It's a spell thing. So yeah, I don't see him going back to his own time.
Could. They've already time traveled this this show.
I mean,
last season.
It's true.
Cleo kind of blocks that out, but yeah, it
not
happened.
anymore. I recognize that it is a thing that happened. I was just like,
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, because we did learn in this particular episode that being a witness is in their bloodline.
Yeah.
So.
Which I'm really excited to see them explore that. Now that we know that's a big deal.
Yeah, Sleepy Hollow Bloodlines, like new spin-off, because that works so well for Supernatural.
Yeah, really. But my question about that would be, if it's been in their bloodlines, have their ancestors been witnesses and just we haven't heard them refer to themselves as witnesses? Because I mean, we've seen what's the woman who wrote the journal, Abby's ancestor from Crane's time.
Yeah.
Jesus. I love her so much.
No, it was not Jesus.
I'm always forgetting her name.
It was definitely not Jesus.
Thank you. Thank you, Dom.
Yeah, I don't remember. She
reminds
me of very early on in season 1 of the Vampire Diaries. They had like a witch that was from the past that they referred to all the time, and reminds me of her. So like, if I'm even gonna take a stab in the dark guess, I know I'm gonna get it wrong because I'm gonna cross the 2 characters. So I'm not even gonna bother. But
Not
we
even
don't know
a
if Crane had any ancestors. Like, he had, what, Henry? Right? Wasn't
Yeah.
Henry his son?
Yeah, Henry
Yeah.
is son.
But,
That's all. That's
Well, we know he has obviously had family. He left them in England, but we don't know any of them.
right.
They existed. He went back to his family's.
So you mean, like, his parents and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's possible.
He has no descendants anymore, but he has
Yeah.
ancestors.
Right. Yeah, it's possible. So, yeah. We learned a little bit more about the symbol. It is the emblem of Thura. So it's used to imprison gods. And it kind of feeds off their power to keep them imprisoned. It's kind of interesting. Now I'm curious how this got into their possession. Like,
Whose possession? The witnesses?
yeah, like, did it?
I think they are the descendants of the people who trapped the Hidden One in the first place.
Okay.
So the ones who sort of, when Pandora told them about it, they were like, up, locking it down. And it's their bloodline that is the witnesses.
That's completely possible.
I'm thinking that's kind of where I'm going. I'm thinking too as well. I mean, because you're looking at what, thousands of years.
Yeah.
So it would make 100% that obviously everyone is going to come from
Yeah.
Mesopotamia.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, probably 5,000 years. I forget when Mesopotamia was a thing. But probably 5,000 years. I would guess.
Mm-hmm. But the artifact also, we find out, can only be used to the touch. It has to be skin contact. Leather doesn't work. Whatever the material that oven mitts are made out of doesn't work.
That was hilarious.
It's just, well, I guess he had the shiny ones.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
oven mitts are all just fabric.
Yeah.
They're fabric and
Well, they're insulated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the insulation, really. But yeah,
stuffing, batting.
it's really funny because, Crane, as much as he's been there, he still doesn't know everything about our world. And, like, we've seen, he knows about motorcycles, he knows about cars, like, that kind of stuff is
But
not
he
going to
doesn't
shock
know
him
to
anymore.
he doesn't know how to put a frozen lasagna in the microwave.
Ugh.
Right.
He's baby steps. He's picking up some things and other things.
Apparently has never eaten a croissant before.
Which croissants have been around for a long ass
Yeah, I
time.
don't know
There's
how
no
that
excuse
works.
for that.
I don't think
No excuse.
maybe it was a fancy one. Did it have something in it? I don't remember what it.
I don't know.
It
It
couldn't have been just
looked pretty average to me.
But we do. I love when Crane was going on his rant about all these human artists and writers and all this stuff, and it's like he listed a bunch that were after his time, and it's like, you've been reading a lot, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's like all these modern.
Yeah, because
Like,
the
and
hidden one comes
goes through the
barging.
old- Yeah.
Yeah, hidden one comes barging into the library, and Crane just starts rattling off all these things, and I'm just like, wait a second, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when he started going into musical artists that were like newer, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really surprised he didn't mention like Taylor Swift or Miley Cyrus or something.
No,
yeah.
he's talking about real art.
I'm well aware. I was just waiting for him to just throw like a curveball one at us with like an exception where he's just like, don't judge, like something like that, like, because I can see Crane doing something like that.
I think it wasn't a moment for a joke.
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
that was the reason. I mean, obviously we had a few other places, like when he did the mind blowed thing at the end
Yeah.
and some other stuff, which
Yeah.
was that's how they interrupt the precious moments. Crane does something stupid.
Mhm.
I wouldn't call it stupid. I call it dorky. He does something really dorky.
But the dynamic that the Crane and the hidden one had was great. It was
Oh
fantastic.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love, how he starts revealing Crane's past to him, and he's like, "You were the boy that used to hide in the stables reading while worrying your mother's sick."
Yeah.
You know,
It's like, how did you know I'm omnipotent?
Oh my god, I do.
Yeah, he's omnipotent, but he doesn't realize like half the shit that Pandora's doing. Like, what?
Well, like he said, there's a difference between knowing everything and wisdom. He trusts, being that he trusts her, he's not watching her.
He has to focus his omnipotence. If he really focuses it, then he can see. But you're right, the fact that he trusts her. He trusted her even before she freed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trust thing and that's was his. I want to call it downfall because she didn't do like huge things.
No, and
it wasn't her fault.
Yeah, him getting the humans locking him away wasn't her fault. She didn't know they were gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she trusted them, and that was her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, not telling them.
But the trust has been broken.
Has it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he heard all of that.
Right.
He heard her say that. She knew this whole time they had the symbol.
Right, but the way he worded it at the end of the episode, like he was proud of her almost for using the whole situation to her advantage to give them more power.
But he never said, because he tested her. He said, "Oh, I didn't know that. We didn't know that they had the symbol." And she's like, "Yes, that was unforeseen." Like, the way he went about that conversation was like, I know, and I'm going to take you down.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, they're going to have a talk.
At least that's the... Yeah, right. He's like, we need to talk. It's like, oh, no.
And he revealed that he knew things, and that's just the face.
How come all the villains in here have, like, this internal struggle, and they end up, like, imploding themselves? It's like... Crane and Abby almost don't do anything to the major villains. They kill themselves. Like the Horseman, Look at the Horseman. He went good again. Yeah, they did a lot of convincing on that, whatever. But the Horseman turned good and stuff and, like, ended up redeeming himself in the end. Henry did the exact same thing. And now Pandora and the Nameless One are, like, at each other's throats. It's like,
well, he started that shit.
Well, regardless who started it, the villains are imploding themselves. Crane and Abby can just step aside at this point, and they'll do themselves in. He'll blow her up, and in her final dying breath, she'll open the box and suck him in, and that's how this is gonna end. He's gonna make Pandora explode, and she's gonna capture him.
You guys have ruined the show for me. Because when Abby and Pandora were talking about her box, I'm just like, vagina, vagina, vagina.
Yes, we win.
High five.
We win, Tom. High five.
Boom. Yeah.
I have made my fair share of box jokes, but
right.
Still,
we instigated.
Ruined. It's ruined.
Her box is ruined.
Oh no. We blew out her box.
Well, I mean, she only has half a box now, still, right?
She's slowly putting it back together.
She's slowly putting her box, but she's just got the lid now, right?
Got the lid, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but when her box is whole, she can focus its power. She can't really focus it when it's fragmented. It could kill someone.
She's got a killer box.
And when her box is whole, she'll entrap him.
She'll just ensnare all the evil in the world right inside her box. Yeah, no, it's just... Because she's got this idea, let's use the Banshee. Let's focus the Banshee, right? Because the episode starts off with this rock band playing, and then all of a sudden they all go deaf, and the creature shows up. She starts screaming. They die, internal rupturing, and... Sophie's the first on scene. She's like, obstructing evidence and stealing it, and Abby commends her for it. She takes the laptop right to Joe and Jenny, and let them go to work on it.
She's getting really good at it.
She's fantastic. And that's when Jenny realizes, oh, it's a banshee. Let's,
Well, I was in my head thinking of all the lady monsters that scream. I'm like, siren, was he a harpy? And then it was like banshee. It's like, oh, okay.
And even Abby goes, is it the one with the wings?
Harpy with the wings. Yeah.
So, yeah, the harpies. Yeah. I knew that it was a banshee right away because I mean, there's a difference between obviously, like you said, the harpies and the sirens are more alluring.
They sing, yeah.
And yeah, banshees just
they only get violent once the
squeal.
Yeah. The sirens only get violent once they've lulled you into a false sense of security.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess squeal is the wrong wording. You know, obviously banshees yell. Squealing is what sirens do once they've already got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the whole idea of the banshee was cool because it absorbs sound, right? And then it redirects and focuses that sound back. So they're like, well, what can we do to find it? Well, let's piss it off. Let's make a lot of noise. They get in an ambulance and just start driving around the area. I mean, what other way? That's great.
Yep.
Same with the loud music they used to lure her into the... What was with the lights? I don't understood the...
Blind it, I guess?
Disorient her?
Well, I guess.
Something like that.
It worked for a little while until they captured it in the soundproof blanket and wrapped it up and, you know, it ripped through and then almost killed Jenny. So Joe didn't have a choice. He had to kill it.
Joe put it down. I loved Sophie. She was like, I'm not telling Abby we killed her monster. Not it.
She's like, not it.
That was great.
I'm surprised.
I love Sophie.
Nose goes, you know. Yeah, no, she's starting to grow on me. I didn't like her at first. You know.
Yeah, I was the same way, but I definitely like her character dynamic. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for.
She's found her place in the team too.
Yeah.
She's not stepping on anybody's toes or like it was in the beginning. You know, they have a nice flow now.
She put herself in the right place in the pecking order. I guess is the...
She has a nice flow, but Pandora does not.
Out of her box.
It's hard to get a good flow when you have a broken box.
That is true. That is true. But they decide that they need a replacement monster.
Everybody looks at Joe.
Yeah. He's just like, look, this has a chance to like cure me. He doesn't feel safe around Jenny. He feels like he can't protect Jenny if he's part monster.
Pandora didn't lie either. She was like, it could cure you or it could kill you. Like,
yeah, she didn't even like dance around that.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Very honest about all of that.
She didn't even say like for sure that it would definitely cure him. Like it could cure you, and it could kill you. You know, so it's crazy, and you know they went through it, and like she needed more power to do it, so she asked for more pieces of the box, and Abby and Jenny they like flip out. They think that this is a big manipulation
setup.
You know, and it wasn't.
It
was, but
it was, but it wasn't. Like I don't think it initially was the intention.
Well, I think it was actually. I think the whole thing. I think Pandora schemed this whole thing, including getting the nameless one or the hidden one captured. I think this was all part of her plan. This whole thing.
I'm not sure all of it was, but I definitely think she went into the whole setup with. She went into the thing with Joe, knowing that the pieces she had wouldn't be enough. And so that as he was dying, she'd be like, "Oh, hey, maybe we could make it happen if you give me more pieces."
Maybe, but she knew that Joe was a Wendigo. She knew that going into. So I feel like she
got slashed up by him.
Yeah, I feel like she set the whole thing up.
Yeah.
I feel like the entire thing, in setting the nameless one or the forgotten, whatever his name is, hidden one. I feel like that was all part of it because she knew that they had the symbol. She didn't tell him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she didn't know how much they knew how to activate it or any of that stuff, though. So that's kind of going in with the...
Well, it kind of activated itself.
It did.
So she spent enough time around the emblem. She knew what it was called. She knew its power. So I think she knew exactly what she was getting herself into. I feel like this whole thing was a setup. It's ingenious if it was.
Yeah. And I mean, she knew, obviously she's known about that symbol the whole time because she told her people about it as like a,
Safety.
safe. Yeah, exactly. Make them feel safe about letting a god loose.
Right. But
and
even she said she didn't know that they were going to capture him.
Yeah, no, she didn't know that. She just thought it would make them feel safe enough to trust her and to trust the hidden one.
Yep. It was really cool though seeing the Abby and Pandora working together, and then Crane and the hidden one working together. It's just like a really cool dynamic because you got this. He goes in there to kill them, and he comes out almost making friends. It's really weird.
Friends.
I said almost.
Yeah, but I mean they had like a weird like connection thing. Like first he was just like I hate you whatever, and they both like batted words at each other, and then it was like all of a sudden it was like this understanding is what it came down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well they each learned something from each other, which was really cool about it. And this whole thing that they were, I could use this and focus its power and we have to time it just right, didn't come to fruition. Like that never did anything.
Yeah.
They activated the thing to try to do it, and he ended up learning stuff about Pandora instead. So they didn't need to do all that. To weaken the spell or anything for Pandora. They didn't need to do that because they didn't. They didn't do it.
No, the whole scene was all about, obviously finding out, they were the whole bloodline thing, and him finding out that what all of the stuff that he didn't know with the emblem when it came to Pandora.
Right.
And you actually see that he does, like, you have a few moments, it's weird, like, it's like a weird love-hate relationship between the two of them, Pandora, and cause it's like, I love you, but it's all about power, blah, 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 some shit. I don't know, I mean, they're weird. So it gives you that moment where, that you see that trust being broken. You see that, his little black heart go a little sad for a second.
His hidden heart.
He's
the hidden one. His heart is hidden too. Yeah, but that's not the only... Trust isn't the only thing that was broken. The tablets.
Yeah.
Are broken.
Yes. Which I'm wondering if the tablets are really broken or not.
They seem to be.
They were dust.
They were dust.
Yeah. The instant thing I thought was, I was like, that's too easy. Maybe I think the hidden one stole them. It made it look like they exploded.
See, I don't think he stole them, but they're translated, like properly translated.
Yes,
and they were all written down, so.
Can I tell you how awesome it was watching the hidden one write? Because it just looked like it was all uniform and really straight, and she was just writing it like he was a machine.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was great. That was probably one of the best shot scenes in the episode, in my opinion. I was actually going to comment on that myself. Mm-hmm. I wish I could write half as nice and neat and perfect as that. I cannot.
I cannot even, like, a fraction.
my writing looks like something a kindergarten would write. Kindergartner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just as bad. I'm all like, I can draw so pretty. Once you start getting writing, I'm like, stick and scratch. What is this?
Yeah. Anything else for this episode? This episode was another really focused episode.
I thought the whole thing with Jenny promising Joe a key.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
No, I promised the Wendigo a key.
No, but I mean,
Clio,
you were right. You were saying because we kept talking about that she would be the one that would get through him as a Wendigo. That that he still had this power over himself. Even
I was looking forward to him being like in control and like
more in control himself instead of
to use the Wendigo power for good.
Yeah, he's still got a key,
Yeah.
Thinking about getting the band back together, maybe 3 or 4 nights a week.
He got.
Where is he gonna practice?
They sometimes get a little loud.
He got her to say "I love you."
Did he?
Yep, she said "I love you."
Did he? No, the Wendigo. She told the Wendigo that she loved him.
Beauty and the... I'm sorry. Right when at the moment when they're like sitting there really close, and she's telling, I'm like, Beauty and the Beast.
It's a tale as old as time.
I was literally had that song going on in my head.
Yeah. Is that it for this episode?
Yep.
Next episode is called Dawn's Early Light. I feel like there's a song lyric that goes with that.
No, really.
As the Hidden One grows stronger, Crane must examine his past with Betsy Ross. Uh-oh. She's back. To find the key to stopping him. Meanwhile, Jenny wonders if she can have a relationship with her father, and Abby faces a hard decision as things with Reynolds become more strained.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Did you guys happen to see a preview? I didn't get to see a preview with the episode, so I don't know if there's any kind of monster, any creatures this coming episode.
No, almost all the things I watched today, I accidentally skipped past the preview, and then the DVR ended, and the only way to go back and watch it is to
rewind
fast forward through the whole freaking thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
So no, I missed it.
Yeah.
I watch mine differently, so I don't ever have the...
Right. Yep. All right. So I think that wraps it up. I'm hoping the show doesn't get canceled. Because I'd like it to have a proper ending. But there's other shows that exist out there that have had endings that they've had to work in a very short amount of time, and they've made the best out of their ending, and I was actually really satisfied with it. Two series that come off the top of my head are The River and Stargate Universe. Both ended very abruptly and had endings, like contingency plan endings that were put in. So if they did not get renewed, that you were still satisfied with it. And I'm hoping that Sleepy Hollow could find that happy medium and resolve everything. Give us, what we want. If this is the end, we end in 3 more episodes. Right? 18 is as far as this series goes. So I don't know. Can they wrap everything up in a nice bow in 3 episodes? We'll have to see.
I think that depends on whether they have them recorded already or not.
Well,
yeah. Well, they would get advanced notice. So, if they weren't going to get renewed, they would have found out months ago, in time, to do that. They're not going to spring it on. It's happened. Shows, it's happened to shows where they just ended and didn't get a happy ending, way to wrap things up. But who knows? We will see.
Yep.
Anyway, Clio, where can the people find you?
They can find me at Clio Moto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest.
Excellent. Kim, where can the people find you?
Also on the Twitters at HUFFITY, on Twitch at Iramu. That's about it.
Excellent. You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Do. Phenomenon.
You can also find us and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week. See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And hello, Sadly Noble. Thank you for joining us right as the podcast ends.
You missed all the box jokes.
All of the box jokes.
all of the box jokes.